Hey Kylie,
Yeah.
are you having a good time?
No.
Are you happy?
That's the shittest idea I've had.
Okay. Which is good, I'm thinking.
The sandbag is getting muddy.
So it's just sandbag. You'll probably agree with me that life is not all about having fun. That usually the shittest moments are the ones that are most providing, uplifting. Ah, that's fun. Just for the record, it was you who thought of this, huh?
Step 1, get the bag to the location.
Yes.
Oh!
Okay, shall I start the introduction? Okay.
You can talk about the dumb suit.
Okay, hey, let's introduce this video. What Kylie's wearing right now is something we call neoprene. And besides it looking very sexy,
Hell yeah.
it has a very good use. It makes you uncomfortable. It's warm, it's compressive. Usually when people wear it for the first time, they feel anxious, which is a good sign. And if you're thinking, well, how do you mean? Do you have any proof? Do you have any evidence? Don't worry, we will share some research on this. I have been using neoprene for a very long time, and I find it very effective. We're not saying that you have to use neoprene, we're just saying that it helps. So, challenge. Kylie.
Challenge. So the first lot of challenges that we're putting together, which will be part of, are we gonna you do it as part of the tribe, yeah?
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 Sure?
Okay. The first one that we'll share publicly, which was my silly idea that I had today when I was feeling good this morning, was, like at the moment it just feels like life is all about pushing shit uphill. Famous Aussie expression. In other words, it's an almost impossible task, right? So this bag of sand, which we've been talking about in the videos, which we shared previously. So this sandbag, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 40 kilos or something like that.
Yep.
And I have to push this bag of up that hill. That's my plan.
And
I forgot about the fact that first I had to get it here. Anyway.
before we get started, you know, I always find a why very important. I know you agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of stuff is happening, as we said before, that we don't have any control over. And, you know, it pisses me off. I know it pisses you off too. And I honestly think the best thing you could do is just do stuff, you know. Better than sitting at home, being annoyed, frustrated, and taking no actions. Do something that is hard, that's rewarding, that gets you something. And then finish. Okay? So Kylie's doing is her technique. Doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as you do it. And whilst you're listening to this video, we'll let Kylie do her thing. A couple of tips I would like to give you. For starters, good sleep. You know, your muscles require energy to work. And the better you sleep, the harder you can push. So that's a first. Wow, as we said before, I think it's really important to know why you're doing this. Like, just have it very clear in your mind what's your intent. That's something we can talk about later. You can use coffee if you want. You don't have to. If that helps you do it, well then by all means use it. Sugars like carbohydrates, rice, sweet potatoes, honey, all works. Now, I personally think that it's better to just not use anything at all and just get it done. But if that means you're gonna do it, then fine. You know, we all want to get somewhere. You know, we all want to reach a goal, and we always look at the goal and never think of the journey there. And in the end, the journey there it teaches you. The big mentor. You know, we live in a time where words are always our first line of defense. How do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? And I think it's first about action. Do something, and when you've done it, consider how you did. Before a heavy lift, you already tell yourself, I cannot, I will not, then you won't. And if you try and you fail, well, okay. Why did you fail? What can you do better? You know, I always talk about sense of self, like who are you as a person? And if you have done a lot of heavy lifting and fighting, then you consider yourself to be strong, you're more likely to pick up something heavy, challenge yourself, go a little bit further than you're actually capable of. And if you've always been sitting on your ass, sedentary lifestyle, and stuff like that, then you're gonna be less likely to push yourself because you don't feel like you're strong. So that's what I love about training. It makes you as a person stronger. Like the bring it on. Now, the way Kylie's working, she's not thinking, she's just doing. If she thinks about how much longer she has to go for, then it's gonna be heavier. If you're concerned with the noises you make and how people will react to you, then you won't make it. You know, right before you start, you might be thinking, oh, this is 30 kilo, this is 40 kilo.
It's getting heavier.
Yeah, of course it's gonna get heavier. Come on.
Yeah, I'm going.
It's not about the weight. It's not about how far you have to go. It's about you willing to push yourself. You know Muhammad Ali, the famous boxer, and that quote where he started counting when it started hurting. You know, pain is a very, very, very strong mediator for progression. Come on, Kylie, push. You know exactly where to go. That's it. You know what I always find so interesting about people being successful, exercising a lot and reading and putting in the work? You don't hear them very often. You don't hear them complain. You don't see them pushing people down. Instead, they lift people up. Now, I think toxic people.
Maybe we should have shot this live.
Ah, come on, you'll be fine. That we could have, but we didn't. So
Yeah.
keep that thought for when you're done. But usually the people that tell you you cannot and you should not and try to sap your energy are the ones that don't do shit. Think about that. The people putting in the work, especially physical training, reading, putting themselves at risk, stressing themselves out for the good cause, they will not put you down. So if you want to be a better person to yourself and to the rest, And that's what you have to do. Do the work. Stop complaining. Just go. It's the journey, it's not the goal. You know, I'm a firm believer of a state of perfection, and that's taking your mind out of it. Every second of your life you think, can I do this, can I do that? And you'll never get anywhere.
I have a good idea. It's not.
It is a good idea. I'm loving the view for several reasons. Come on. Come on, strong lady. Yes. Hoppa. And whilst you guys are watching her push, it helps to make noise.
I will become a titan.
Titan games. Something you can watch at home. But you know what? Whenever you get angry, pissed off, annoyed, you create energy. In this case, I'll talk about lactate. So if you're pushing that back and you're annoyed, you're angry with the world, angry with yourself, that annoyance produces more energy. So get angry. Angry with the bag. Scream, shout. Be violent, you know. Let it out. And if you can be violent during your training, you'll become a kind person in real life instead of nice. I don't like the word nice, I like the word kind. Nice is fake. It is about the journey, not the goal. Kali was very annoyed and frustrated with the lockdown. All she does is just take action. If you want to be real, then do something hard. Even if you fail, it doesn't really matter because at least you've done something. I mean, in essence, failing is not trying it again. I myself am not a big fan of carbohydrates and sugars, and coffee, although I do take it. If you want to take all that stuff, in order to feel good, at least do something hard. You can take pills, you can go and see doctors and physiotherapists, or you stop kidding yourself and start working. You know, we live in a day and age where happiness, or at least fake happiness from eating food and taking drugs and alcohol, can be found anywhere. It used to be that you had to go out and hunt. Hunt for hours on end and suffer for hours on end in order to get something. You had to climb a tree and fight off all the bees in order to get the honey. So whatever you tell me, this is what we are meant to do as humans. Suffer for a cause. I think happiness should be earned. And that's what she's doing right now. You know, I remember how I cried of happiness after I crossed the finish line after doing my marathon. I died. It still makes me happy thinking about it. So all that pain and that suffering was for a reason. You know, when she goes home and has dinner with me and her kids, she can tell herself she has done this. She's decided to do something very hard and very heavy. She finished it. No excuses, just hard work. You know what? I could tell her right now what kind of technique she should use, but that's not what this is about.
Come on.
A very simple task. Got a heavy sandbag, heavy for you. Get it from the start all the way to the finish. Doesn't matter how long you take. Doesn't matter what kind of technique you use. Move the bag. And it's not about the bag, it's about you pushing. It's about you not accepting mediocrity. If I'm shaking, it's because a mosquito is trying to bite me, but if you want to be mediocre, that's fine. I won't think less of you, but I don't want to be. I choose not to be mediocre. You know what I do for that? When I train hard. When I love complete. I share, I suffer for a cause. You know what's so great about that? You can change anytime. Maybe you've lived a life full of partying and always being comfortable and never pushing yourself. And maybe after watching this video you might be like, huh, you know what, maybe I want to push myself a little bit harder. Well, you can. Just take on this challenge. Prove your worth. Not to her, not to me, but to yourself. And I'll give you a high five if you do it. Or fist bump. But it's like you deciding to do something hard and you finishing. So after watching this video, please don't look at the time and compare yourself with that or think of how heavy should I go. No. Just grab a bag, at least 10 kilos, maybe below 50. Just move it. Just get it done. As I said before, you can wear neoprene, you can listen to music, you can drink coffee, eat rice, take some honey. Sure you can do that, but that's not what this is about. Maybe before you start, you might be asking yourself questions like, why the hell am I doing this? And am I even capable? So, yes you are. Yes, you're capable. You know, there was a story of a mom, 60 years old, that saw her son being crushed by a car while she was repairing it. She had no prior history of strength training. She didn't think, she just lifted the car for an hour to save her son. When the ambulance came, he survived, and she just completely froze. Why am I telling you this? Because you can do so much more than you think. If you really want to, then you can. I mean, what is 10 minutes of pain? What's 20 minutes of pain? Or 30? And when she's done, she will probably feel amazing for 3-4 hours. Or maybe a week. She'll look at herself in the mirror thinking, I've done that. Yes, you're gonna be uncomfortable and in pain, but so? So what? You've got food, you've got water, you've got a bed. Do you want to live in safety your entire life? Is that really how you want to live? I don't. Life is not found in the middle. Life is found at the edges. I've seen it once as she looked back. It's just her in the bag. As I like to call it, an existential crisis. If she were to stop right now, it would go against her persona. Something I always like to say to myself. I don't know what failing is. It's not my system. I'd rather die. I would rather die than give in. You know, if you're giving up prior to, you just haven't thought it through. That's where she started. This is where she's at. There's the kookaburras. You know, the funny thing about the mind is, we always anticipate, right? Make predictions prior to. And the hardest part is when you're nearly there. You see the finish line? You know what that tells you? It's not physical, it's mental. This is a mental challenge. It's your mind fighting you, trying to stop, make you stop. You know, do you want to be weak or do you want to be strong? Be violent. Let it out. See? Last few. There you go. We're at the pool, you're done.
That's it.
Hey, come on, make it touch the pole. Fair is fair. How do you feel?
Happy that's over.
How long did that take you think?
I don't know.
Have a guess.
20 minutes.
Close. 24. No, wait, that's not true. You've been dragging it. So there must have been less, maybe 18? Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to close up the video?
Enjoy.
Okay.
That didn't happen.